Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Please do like and subscribe for more confessions.
My boyfriend cheated on me with a sex worker on his last night in Costa Rica. That's basically it. He told me he had stayed in a hotel that was notorious for prostitution on his last day of a work trip in Costa Rica. I picked him up from the airport last night. We spent some quality time together after not having seen each other for 10 days. He spent the night at my house. We spent the morning together, then went to run some errands this afternoon. After finishing the errands, as we are driving to go on a hike with our dog, and he tells me, out of nowhere, that he paid a sex worker to sleep with her at this hotel the last night he was there. I honestly didn't believe him and thought it was some weird joke that I wasn't interested in, but he assured me that it was real and it really happened. I told him to take me home and I didn't speak to him for the rest of the drive. I was spiraling. We have been together, admittedly on and off, for 4 years now. Once we got back to my house, I packed up his stuff in his backpack and told him he had to leave. He kept saying over and over through the drive and up till this point that he wanted to talk about it. What is there to talk about? I gathered the Christmas gifts that I had got him and threw them in his car, went back inside and locked the doors. My best friend was home, thank God, so I cried to her for a while, but now I'm just in shock and don't know what to do or say. Any advice? I'm losing my husband and don't think I can do anything about it. I'm 39F, my husband is 39 meters. We've been married for 13 years. After struggling with infertility for a few years, we realized early in our marriage we would not be able to have kids of our own. It was a tough realization, but we both decided to dedicate ourselves to our jobs and spoil the nieces and nephews and young cousins we have. A few months ago, a young woman, Kaylee, 26F, moved into the house next door to us. She has 2 twin sons, and is recently widowed. She's lovely and completely overwhelmed. She has no family in the area, so my husband and I of course offered to help her with anything she needed. She'll come to us for help with little things. She'll ask my husband to fix something or ask for an ingredient for a meal. Along those lines, my husband is always respectful and I don't think he would ever cheat. But I see how he reacts whenever Kaylee calls or rings the bell. His eyes light up. He gets excited. He loves her twin boys. They play in roughhouse with him all the time. Our driveway runs along the side of her yard. When he used to come home from work and they would be outside, he'd take a few minutes to play with them before he came in. So now they're out there every afternoon waiting for him. My husband has admitted seeing them run up to him after work brightens up good whole day. I know my husband would never cheat or betray me, but I see him losing himself in this fantasy of what if this was my family? What if these were my kids? I know he wouldn't cheat, but I have this fear he's going to realize what we have isn't enough and he's going to leave me for the ready-made family next door. I don't want to discuss these concerns with him and sound accusatory, but yesterday I saw him and Kaylee talking outside and I wanted to cry. They looked like a happy family. They were on her deck talking and laughing. He was holding one twin boy while the other was climbing on her. I feel like I'm losing my husband. There's nothing I can do to stop it. I don't know what to do. 33F, just realized condoms were missing from my husband's 31M drawer. Is his excuse legit? I'll try to keep this brief. I realized a few of the condoms my husband keeps in his nightstand drawer were missing. We do not use condoms when we have sex and haven't for many years. I asked him about it and he got visibly nervous and told me he knows they are missing and it is because he sometimes uses them when he masturbates. I asked him why then would they only be missing now. The same number of condoms had been in that drawer for years, and he said it's because he doesn't always have the time to masturbate the way he would when he needs to use them, and his follow-up reason was that it takes more time. I have never in my life come across this before. Men of Reddit, does this sound legit to you or am I being bullshitted? My BF, M19, me, F20, have been dating for 4 months now. He put a pill hernia in my drink without my consent. For the first time I went on a trip with only friends for the first time in our group. He decided to put a pill in my drink without my knowledge. I drank the whole drink of Dr. Pepper. My friend, F20, told me that he put a pill in my drink. I was shocked. First he didn't say anything yet to me about the pill. The pill didn't work at all. I was terrified because it could have affected my seizures. I waited for him to tell me for 3 days after the trip. Finally he said that he indeed did do it but forgot he did and didn't think my best friend would tell me. His reasoning was he wanted to see my reaction to the pill. Should I break up with him? What should I do? The pill he put in my drink was the Piney Pussycat. I have no idea what it was until I had to go to the doctor. My 27M. Ex-husband wants to reconcile with me. 23F. But on his terms. My ex and I divorced late November of last year. I would share why, but it's a super long story. Just know that it was really messy. Anyways, he came back a month ago wanting to reconcile. I asked him kindly to give me time to consider things and then us time to rebuild and take things slowly if I decide to proceed. However, he's giving me ultimatums stating that he wants to get back together sometime this year soon, or he'll just get engaged to someone else. But he'll propose anyway just to give me the opportunity to remarry him. Like WTF, I just came out of a whole marriage with him. I'm not looking to remarry him or anyone else in the near future. I'm just super confused as to why I'm being rushed to reconcile with him. I would be more receptive to start all over and build everything back up. However, this is a huge turn-off because I'd like to be able to see real change from him and make a sound decision. I introduced my boyfriend to my family and they blindsided him during dinner. I need help. I, 25F, have been dating this guy, 33M, for 9 months now. He's amazing and I'm head over heels for him and he's the same for me. My boyfriend had a tough past. He had a rough upbringing and spent some time in prison over a decade ago. Once he got out, he turned things around and managed to build a very good life for himself. I found out about his past on our third date. I asked him about a small tattoo on his arm, which turned out to be a tattoo of the date he was released from prison. None of that mattered to me because it was in the distant past. I briefly mentioned it to my sister one day and did not go into any details about it. My sister and I have always shared things about the guys we date and I always thought it would stay between us, or so I thought. On Sunday, I introduced my boyfriend to my parents for the first time. We went over to their house for dinner and everything was going well until my dad brought up at the dinner table the fact that my boyfriend had spent time in jail. It blindsided my boyfriend and I did not tell them about it beforehand, so I immediately realized it must have been my sister. My parents proceeded to question him about all that, asking why he was in there and making jokes like it takes a certain someone to go to jail and you don't go to jail for no reason. Those things were said in a jokingly way, but it felt condescending and I'm sure my boyfriend felt it too. We ended up cutting dinner short and I had an individual conversation with my dad and basically told him that what they did wasn't cool and that I was mad. He kept saying they were joking but it didn't feel that way. I apologized to my boyfriend on our way home and he just said it's okay babe, it's to be expected. He said it in a defeated way which told me that he was hurt. He never said this to me, but I imagine that being judged over one's past, especially when you've built a great life for yourself, must feel awful. I feel so guilty for all of this and although he seems fine, I feel like it affected him more than he wants to tell me. I don't know what to do. I regret not being more vocal when all of it was happening. I'm not good at confrontations. I've been thinking of calling my parents and telling them they need to apologize to him as soon as possible, but my sister, who I confronted, says I should let some time pass and make them apologize next time we see each other, which is God knows when. What should I do? My ex still wants a relationship with my daughter, my 22F, ex, 24M, and I dated for about 2 years but friends for 6 years prior to us dating. He met my daughter when she was 4 months old, 4 months prior to us dating, and now she is 2 and 8 months old. We've been broken up for 2 months now because he was cheating, but all my daughter does is talk about him and will ask where he is and will go. His name went bye-bye. She'll say she misses him and it breaks my heart. On the other hand, my ex consistently asks if I'll bring her over, or if he can see her. It was working at first because we were trying to be friends, but he was interrogating me in regards to whether or not I was seeing other men and was acting as though I would be leading him on if I was. But I made it clear we were only friends and my romantic feelings are gone. This behavior continued, so I told him I thought it was best we didn't remain friends. He's been saying he feels like his family was stolen from him and he keeps asking if he can see my daughter because he misses her and feels like she is a daughter to him. I would rather not be around him, but if it weren't for my daughter talking about him every single day, I wouldn't even consider it. According to his roommate, he's been crying every day since we broke up and talks about how much he misses us. I'm not sure what to do because I've never been in his position, but I'm really trying to avoid confusing my daughter for when I'm ready to begin dating again and have a serious relationship.